Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's October 12th, Thursday. Welcome to the studentloanjustice.org live stream. I'm going to keep it exceedingly short tonight. Couple of announcements. Thanks to Christina and Daniel Sherwood. We got a really not bad article published in Virginia, in the Virginia Pilot today. They were interviewed for that. So good job. I would urge everyone out there to contact your local newspapers, magazines, whatever, television stations, news stations. Have them do an interview about the depth of the student loan crisis. Refer them to us. You can see our contact info below, scrolling below. We can connect them to people in your area with very compelling stories to tell. And these are stories that need to be told, folks. The loans are turned back on now. We don't have our bankruptcy rights back. And the loan cancellation that we were promised is just not happening. The $125 billion that Biden has canceled, really the Department of Education, not Biden, that's nothing compared to the amount of interest that typically accrues during the same time period. The interest that accrues is far more than double what we've seen as far as loan cancellation goes. So guys, we are screwed. If you aren't one of the lucky 1.9% of borrowers who managed to get your loans canceled through one of the various income-driven repayment plans, you're absolutely screwed. It's going to get pretty bad going forward, guys. I'm just going to tell you. If you're new to the group, welcome. We're the oldest, largest, first, and only true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. We've been around for 18 years now. We have 1.5 million members on paper. I wish more of them would become active, and I hope that will happen now that the loans are turned back on and they are putting the screws on us. If you happen to be sitting on the fence, I would urge you to get off the fence and help us fight, because we can't pull your weight for you. And to everybody out there who is doing who's doing the work and getting your knuckles a little muddy and bloody in this battle, I salute you. We are the tip of the spear. So a couple of announcements. We still have a bunch of interview requests. If you go to our Facebook group, and you can see it there, just Google Facebook Student Loan Justice, and you can see it. Look up and down on the group, and you can see all of our various interview requests. I also have to make a rather urgent plea for donations at this point too, guys. We need 20 people to donate $20 or more this week. So that's $400. Not a huge amount, but in our universe, it's the difference between us existing and not existing. I hope you can appreciate that fact, guys. The other truly fake groups out there have millions of dollars in funding, and I can guarantee you that money does not come from the borrowers. A lot of those groups make their money by using their groups as hunting grounds for their where they prey on their own members and try and rope them into loan consolidation, loan rehabilitation, both, in my humble opinion, very unwise things to do. And I can talk about that later if anybody has any questions or comments about it. If you do have any questions or comments and you're watching us live on Facebook and or Twitter, by all means, throw them out. I'm happy to respond to them if I can see them, which is never a guarantee. But just please donate, guys, so I can shut up about it, because I suck at fundraising. And I hope you'll agree that given that the whole concept of canceling student loan debt began by executive order started on this group, by virtue of the fact that but for this group, we would not have had and will not have meaningful bankruptcy legislation to fight for. I hope you will agree that this group is worth keeping around. So people ask me all the time, what can I do? Great question. Glad you asked. What you can do starts with doing our daily actions. And let me just dial that in for you. If you go to our website, you can see daily actions that we do every single day, almost every day. And there's also a bit.ly link for it right there, bit.ly/SLJ daily action. These daily actions are very quick, ladies and gentlemen. They take usually no more than about 30 seconds to do. You got to have a Twitter account, and I apologize for that, an X account, as they say. But get a Twitter account. If the student loan problem and solving it is important to you, it's the least you can do. If you've never done one of our daily actions, I would say go there and or there, and do a week's worth or maybe even 2 weeks worth of our most recent daily actions. They truly do help, guys. We're hitting Jim Jordan right now. Jim Jordan is a Republican represent. We're a fiercely nonpartisan group, guys. We are neither Democratic nor Republican aligned. We hate both parties. But Jim Jordan's a very important guy. He's a congressman from Ohio. He runs the Judiciary Committee, and it is probably the Judiciary Committee through which our bankruptcy legislation must go if it is going to pass. And Jim Jordan's going to be very difficult, guys. He has been using his Judiciary Committee for sort of, in my humble opinion, petty political fights, food fights with the Democrats. They talk about the weaponization of government, but really he's using the committee for purely partisan purposes. And he's not doing the business of the people. And that's got to change. And we are pushing Jim Jordan very hard. I got a call into C-SPAN earlier today. And if you look up or down on our Facebook group, you can see it for yourself. We don't have to be nice to these guys, dudes. We don't have to take this nonsense, by the way. The Founding Fathers called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the Constitution. It's been stripped uniquely from student loans. And again, if you're new to the group, you may not realize this. I wouldn't expect you to. But this whole problem comes down to bankruptcy rights, guys. We've got to get bankruptcy rights back. The past 3.5 years have demonstrated clearly that unless and until we have the leverage of bankruptcy returned to us, we're not going to see any meaningful student loan cancellation, not from Joe Biden, not from the next president. Most important thing that I'll say tonight, that's true. So whether you would ever or never file for bankruptcy is truly not important. Most people, maybe even no one, will actually have to file. But we've got to get the right return. We've got to have that power back in our back pocket. If we would have had bankruptcy rights returned in 2020, when we first started our petition calling for the cancellation of all federally owned student loan debt by executive order, it would have happened, I think. But I'm just here to tell you, dudes, there's a very good reason the founders called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the Constitution ahead of every right enumerated in the Bill of Rights. Think about that. So our number one primary goal at this point is getting bankruptcy rights returned. And that comes down to Jim Jordan. Now, a lot of people out there might be like, the Republicans hate us. There's no way. Well, no, actually, there is a way. On loan cancellation, I would agree. The Republicans, just the way the stupid public conversation has firmed up to this point, it's become a partisan food fight. With the Democrats for cancellation, Republicans against loan cancellation. And anyways, we see how that battle goes as long as we don't have the power of bankruptcy back on our side. However, very interesting Republicans like Matt Gaetz, like if you know who that is from Florida, Josh Hawley from Missouri. Those two guys are basically MAGA Republicans, but also old school Republicans, more establishment Republicans like John Cornyn, and many others, including in Congress, totally agree that bankruptcy rights must be returned to student loans. So this is it's not so much a secret, although nobody really knows about it, it would seem. But this is the secret path to actual student loan cancellation. And as I said, very few people, maybe even no one, will actually have to file. It's just having the leverage of bankruptcy returned that will change everything for us. So doing our daily actions is hugely important. I cannot overemphasize that point. You know, with 1.5 million people on our group, if even 10% of the people were doing our daily actions on a regular, hopefully daily basis, this problem would have been solved months or even years ago, guys. You know, 10% of our group is 150,000 people a day, overwhelming the phone lines in Congress in Washington, D.C., blowing up the Twitter accounts of everybody that we target. Like, I think it would probably make national news if all of a sudden we started getting 150,000 retweets a day. I mean, that would be stronger than I think any political movement we've seen in this country ever before, ever. So think about that. And if you want to be part of the solution rather than sitting on the sidelines, waiting, watching, and worrying and wondering what they are going to do with your student loans, well, I'll tell you what they are going to do with your student loans as long as you sit on your ass and watch. They are going to put their own kids through college, through very expensive colleges, thanks to your ass, thanks to your exploded student loan debt. They are going to perpetuate the worst big government lending monstrosity this nation has ever seen. And they are going to ruin your life as long as you sit back and wait and wring your hands and worry and wonder. So we need you in this fight, ladies and gentlemen. And the very least that you can do is get into the habit of doing our daily actions. So I said I was going to keep it short tonight, and I meant it. I hope something that I've said tonight has gotten through to you. We're all we've got, guys. We can't expect anyone on the internet, anyone on TV, any politicians. We can't expect any newspaper to solve this problem for us. It starts with us. That's always been true. And so you have no idea how important you could be in this battle. And I can only say, if you've been sitting on the fence, you better get off your ass, because these are your loans. This is your problem. And to everybody out there who has been fighting on a daily basis, I salute you. It's quite frankly remarkable what we've been able to get done over the past couple of years on this issue. We've been doing this for 18 years, guys, but we've really started to hit our stride over the past 3 years, particularly on the student loan cancellation issue. But guys, I'm here to tell you, we are very close to being able to get actual bankruptcy rights back. And when that happens, the whole game changes. The swamp people can't screw us anymore. They can't keep us in perpetual debt for the rest of our lives. They can't do that. It's pretty much game over. The student loan scam is finally over when we get the leverage of bankruptcy rights returned. As unpleasant as it is to file for bankruptcy, that does not matter, because, as I said, very few people, almost no one, should actually have to file once we get the right return. So you should be proud to be fighting this fight. It feels good to fight this fight. We do nothing more than tell the truth. And the truth maybe isn't that pretty, but it's the truth. And the truth is a strong thing. So we are a strong group. And the other groups aren't fighting for bankruptcy. Quite frankly, that's beyond suspicious, guys. I think the other groups in this space, they don't actually want to solve this problem. I think they're making too much money on this problem. Some of the groups out there do $1 million business transactions with the student debt collection industry. That's what they do. This problem is like job security for them. Well, here on this group, guys, I would like nothing better than to take the banner. I'm a defaulted student loan borrower a long time. I would like nothing better than to take the banner behind me and throw it in the garbage and get on with my life. Do you not agree? Do you not also want to get on with your life? So if you do, you came to the right place, and I'm very glad that you're here, and I hope that you'll stick around. More than that, I hope that you'll get your knuckles a little muddy and bloody with us, because this is a very important fight, very much worth fighting. We're glad you're here, and you don't have to feel alone, because there's a lot of us here. And we are, the scales have fallen off of our eyes, and I hope they are falling off your eyes, particularly now as repayments are resuming and the pain of this thing is really starting to sink in. So spread the word about this group, guys. Do our daily actions. And again, just please donate if you could, so I can shut up about it. Okay, guys. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday. Today's Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Good luck. Godspeed, doing our daily actions. God bless everyone.